Timekeeper at the bell from Ruislip is Mr. Peter McCann, and our referee in charge of the action from Aberdare is Mr. Winford Jones. This is 8 3-minute rounds in the middleweight division.
Several times, you know I like the contest to flow. I value sportsmanship above all else, so let's have a good clean contest. Shake hands, good luck to you both, and come out boxing at the bell.
So final words of instruction from Winford Jones, coming up to 35 years as a referee. And this is an interesting match to start off what should be a real bumper night of boxing for you on Sky. And Danny Butler, 23 years old, best known for that challenge to Darren Barker. Danny Butler for the British and Commonwealth middleweight titles. Stopped in 7 rounds. Bradley Pryce, well, he seems to have been around forever, doesn't he? Pro since 1999, so long associated with the Enzo Calzaghe gym, now trained by Gary Lockett. Fighting as a middleweight here. Not too long back he was saying that he could still be the best welterweight in the country. But what we know is that he's a very wholehearted fighter, with a popular one as well, and we know he's going to get stuck in.
Yeah, this should be an exciting fight. Both have got a bit of talent. Pryce can punch a bit as well. And Butler being inactive, though, that could be a problem.
18 months out of the ring, Danny Butler. Works in security, full-time job. Here trying to show that he's still got something to offer as a fighter, only in his 24th fight. And the action starting to hot up already in this first round.
Well, Pryce is holding that left hand very low, and Butler looking for the right hand over the top of that. Reflexes of Pryce have slowed a little since his early days. He's getting caught with the jab there.
Danny Butler managed by Jane Couch, who you might be able to see on the far side there, sitting at ringside. One of our best women boxers, arguably the best woman boxer that's ever come out of these shores.
Well, he's trying with a long-rangey jab, Pryce, but he's missing with it for the most part. Butler early on, a little more effective.
Pryce coming into this one, Glenn, on the back of a couple of defeats. He was beaten by Colin Lynes in an 8-rounder, then lost to an input, Sergei Rabchenko, over 12 rounds. He'll want to show that he's still a live fighter.
Yeah, he certainly will. With Gary Lockett training him now. Thinks he's a little more rejuvenated. Still a bit left in his career.
Well, one thing we know, if you watched ringside this week and saw Jamie Moore being put through his paces by Gary Lockett, you know all about how much he puts his fighters through it, trying to get them into peak physical condition.
Just a little bit sharper early on. Butler beating Pryce to the punch.
That's been a lively opening round, suggesting that it unfolds, it's going to be a good one.
Don't let him wait too much. Get in there, worry him.
Here's Tex Woodward in the corner with Danny Butler.
Use him.
A lively-ish start there from Butler, landing with the right hand over a slow jab from Pryce. Yeah, nice punch. But a very competitive opening round.
Well, the Butler corner seemed fairly happy with the way things unfolded in that first 3 minutes. Slightly the taller man, Butler, certainly stands taller as he fights. Pryce has been a little bit erratic through his career, hasn't he? Had that run of success when he was Commonwealth light middleweight champion, and still wanting to show that he's got that sort of capability in the locker.
Yes, he's got that sort of relaxed style, though. Butler just looks a little bit sharper early on. But Pryce, very experienced, 41 fights, 18 KOs. Could punch a little bit.
Butler just had a prize fighter outing since the fight against Darren Barker. Lost to Brett Flournoy, who went on to win it. And then he won in 7 rounds in an 8-2s against Adam Wilcox. So he's not really been fighting at the highest level since the Darren Barker fight.
He looks keyed up for this one, though. So obviously getting back in there.
Yeah, wanting to make up for lost time, isn't he? Took the Barker fight at late notice after Wayne Alcock had pulled out. Got well paid for it, but maybe as a result of taking that fight, the opportunities haven't quite accrued as he would have wished. It's better from Pryce. Oh, good shot, good right hand, really good punch from Pryce. And suddenly the fight explodes alive, and Pryce is now sensing that he's got Butler going, and Butler's having to fight on instinct, and he took that shot well, Glenn.
He did take it well. It was a good right hand, though. That certainly livened Pryce up a bit.
Well, Bradley Pryce will certainly be believing after that. That's really revved up his Welsh fans.
He's a long jab. Pryce looking to wind up for another right hand.
Look at him cocking it. He gets clipped by Butler, and he heard the whoop as he took it. Well, the second round has certainly livened up, and Pryce is now dictating terms, and Butler fighting, as you might expect, after soaking up that big right hand with a great deal more respect. Good round for Pryce. Well, let's take another look at that one, Glenn. Terrific shot.
Yeah, it was a good shot. He had him against the ropes, just pushing him off, looking to wind up the right hand. First one, the uppercut missed, but the second one was a good one, and that just wobbled the legs of Butler and just put him on the defensive after that. But some good work and a lively fight.
Gary Lockett's with Bradley Pryce.
Working from the outside, when he dives in, have a step back. Right,
Corners
let
to
the
the
shoulders
shoulders.
out.
Seconds out, round 3.
Third round of this 8-rounder. And we've got it all square. Good round for Bradley Pryce, though, in the white shorts in the second round.
Decent right hand there from Butler, who's come back strong, letting the punches go.
Butler's brought a few supporters down from Bristol as well, contributing to a good atmosphere.
Pryce boxes at a lower pace these days.
He drops that left hand as well, doesn't it? It's an inviting target.
But Butler has to keep his pace going, has to keep busy and throw lots of punches.
And of course, as in much of the country, apologising if you're north of the border where it's not quite so hot, but down here it is a very, very warm night.
Little cut on the eye, it looks there, of Pryce, little nick just appearing.
The action slowed a little in this third after a pretty rumbustious second. That's better from Butler, and a good uppercut inside from Pryce.
Yeah, A little bit unsteady on his legs there, Pryce, as Butler was getting his shots off.
Butler, the natural middleweight, you sense. Pryce has come up through the weights.
Butler's come back well in this round. Very determined effort, been busier.
Butler coming, bulldozing his way in again, head's going close. You can see the smear of blood around the left eye of Bradley Pryce. They'll have to work away on that one. Doesn't look too bad at this stage, though.
No, they can work on that. But that's got Butler going a bit. That's picked him up, lifted his spirits.
Pryce being told by his corner, by Gary Lockett, to let his punches go, let them flow. Don't rely on just throwing that long, lazy jab, which he's content, or has been content for much of this round, to throw just single shots. It's not keeping Butler off.
No, all the decent work in this round has come from Danny Butler. Fought back well.
It looked like a decent fight on paper, this one. Butler ending well with a good right hand, and it's turning out to be a good fight.
Yeah.
Working on the damage to the left eye of Bradley Pryce. Doesn't look too bad, though. There's some fierce exchanges again in that round.
Yeah, some good work. A little short right hand there from Butler. And Butler just the busier of the two. The uppercut landing from Pryce.
Fourth round of 8. We think that cut was caused by an accidental clash of heads. It's not going to inconvenience Pryce too much, though, I don't think. Frank Hopkins has done the work in the corner as the cut man, and appears to have stopped the bleeding quite proficiently.
But he just seems to be gaining a little bit of momentum in there, Danny Butler. Shaking off some ring rust.
Be a good win for Butler if he gets this one. He could do with some decent names on his record. Been around a while now, and just looking to move up that level. He had the one big opportunity against Darren Barker, which Barker, frankly, was just too good a practitioner. It was about levels, and at that stage, Barker was just too good for Danny Butler. But a victory over Bradley Pryce would be a good name on the record. Rival sets of fans setting up the chanting at ringside.
But it's Butler who's winning the battle of the jabs at the moment. Just quicker off the mark with that left hand.
7 years the younger man, Danny Butler. Less miles on the clock as well in fighting terms. Pryce has had some hard nights.
When they come together in close, it just seems that Butler might be the stronger in there.
Natural middleweight.
Yep, you can tell that. And Pryce is going to need a little bit more on that long, lazy sort of jab. He's going to have to bring something behind that, up the tempo.
He could do with another right hand like the one he found in the second round, which certainly commanded the attention of Danny Butler and maybe even stiffened his legs momentarily. Butler just that little bit busier.
Yeah, he's just beating him to the punch, isn't he, and putting 2s and 3s together. The Pryce has won. Pryce goes swinging in there, looking for the big one.
Against Colin Lynes, I remember that fight. Lynes boxed well early on, and Pryce tried to come back hard in the latter stages. Didn't like the fact that the decision went to Lynes, but really just allowed his opponent to do too much in the early stages, and Butler going further ahead, maybe.
Working both hands. Left hand, then combos.
Calm words of advice from Tex Woodward for Danny Butler.
Hang on, come here.
Corners 10 seconds.
More work on the cut to the left eye of Bradley Pryce.
Seconds out, round 5.
Well, Gary Lockett, I think, telling Bradley Pryce in no uncertain terms that he needs to start throwing more and to start bullying Danny Butler a little more and on his way back into this fight, because Butler, you just sense, might be outworking Pryce, might have a lead at this stage. Certainly on your card, Glenn, that's the way it's panning out.
Yeah, Pryce just a bit too relaxed, looking for single punches. Butler doing more, trying to get combinations off.
Pryce with the gloves low, a little contemptuously. Referee Winford Jones is the man who'll be scoring this one. And no prizes for showboating.
Well, I mean, Butler just showing that youth and exuberance that he's got physically. A few miles on the clock of Bradley Pryce. Well, Butler just waiting a little too much in this round, just took his foot off the gas. Bradley Pryce just picking with that long, languid jab of his.
If you're just joining us, this is the aperitif to a main event here in Newport, the European lightweight title. Gavin Rees defending his belt against Derry Matthews from Liverpool. Should be an outstanding fight, that one. And here, Bradley Pryce trying to, in a way, roll back the years. He's not quite finding the clean shots that he needs so far, at least not the way we're seeing it. There's a jab, though, from Pryce. That time it does get through.
Slow down a little, Butler in this round. He's allowed Pryce to start to dictate a little bit.
Well, he certainly needed to, didn't he, Pryce? And I think that Gary Lockett sensed that in his corner. He sent him out saying, come on, let's get your foot on the gas, let's go for it. That's a good right hand from Butler, though. Pryce trying to get into range to tee off and absorbing a solid right hand as he did so.
He's trying a bit late in the round, Butler do his work. Nice long jab there from Pryce, rocking the head back.
Well, big effort from Bradley Pryce in that round, might have done enough, but we've still got Butler just ahead in this fight. Meanwhile, coming up, we've got Gavin Rees against Derry Matthews, European lightweight title, and Ed Robinson's with Derry Matthews.
Well, a massive chance for Derry Matthews. Are you ready, Derry?
Well, we're going to see. As soon as the first bell goes, I believe I'm ready. The team believe I'm ready. I'm in the best shape I can be in. No excuse, you know. Just got to go in there and perform. And the right Derry Matthews performs, there's only one winner.
Do you feel stronger now up at lightweight?
I feel big, I feel strong, you know. I've done everything right. I've left no stone unturned. It's just about performing now.
Do you have to keep it long against Gavin Rees, technically?
I have to keep it long, you know. He's only a short fighter, but I believe I've got the tools. I've got an excellent style to beat him, and you know, we're going to see tonight.
Good luck tonight.
Well, we'll see. There's Derry Matthews, looks confident, working out there with Oliver Harrison. Time ticking away for that big one tonight, the European lightweight title, his challenge to Gavin Rees. Meanwhile, back with the action, Danny Butler against Bradley Pryce. 3 rounds remaining, and it might still be very much in the melting pot here.
Yeah, very much. It's poised, isn't it? Pryce just starting to come back into it a little bit after a good start from Danny Butler.
Well, if Pryce can do well in these last 3 rounds, he could still turn it round the way we're seeing it.
Well, he's starting to get his jab going out with a bit more authority, and that's key for Pryce, that long jab.
was the Commonwealth champion, beat Aussie Duran. Then 6 defences, Commonwealth light middleweight champion Bradley Pryce, and looking since then to get his way back into title contention. Needs to stop the losing run coming into this on the back of 2 defeats.
Decent shots from Butler, forcing Pryce back against the ropes. Another nice right hand landing.
Solid right hand. Made Pryce blink. Be an interesting one. If you had your money on this, you'd be a bit nervous either way, wouldn't you? A difficult one to call, this.
Well, I think it's all to fight for yet. Pryce is coming on a bit stronger as he's warming up into this fight. He's starting to work more and more.
You just sense that Butler maybe, although the younger man, certainly physically just a little bit the bigger man, I think in these hot conditions he's feeling it now.
Just hasn't got the snap of the early rounds. Butler, he was coming back with combinations, hasn't done that the last couple of rounds, although found a decent right there.
And he's got through with a couple of those in this round. Again, it's going to be a close round, this one. All depends what sort of work is going to impress the referee. He's not going to be too impressed with Bradley Pryce lying on top of Danny Butler.
Butler missing there as he tried a long right hand. But not enough in this round for Danny Butler.
Pryce might be edging his way back. Good jab again from Pryce. Keeping it at range, and when Butler allows him to fight from there, that suits Pryce. A little bit of afters. Bradley Pryce being told by Gary Lockett, you're just flicking your left hand, you've got to throw your right hand.
Yeah, there was a good one for Butler. Didn't throw enough in that round, though. It was Pryce who was working behind the jab, pushing Butler onto the back foot.
A little bit of pause as they get the binding right on Bradley Pryce's glove. Repairs complete, and now the action is underway. Just 2 rounds remaining. Referee having a good look at the binding to make sure everything's all right. We get underway. Pryce has been implored to not just throw single shots. Pot shotting, in the opinion of his corner, is not going to be enough to beat Danny Butler.
Well, who's got the most in these last 2 rounds? It could very much depend on these 2 rounds.
Well, you'd anticipate that there could be an almighty tear-up which is going to break out at any moment here if they get the space to do it. Referee has to split them. Going in close. Pryce, the old pro, veteran of 41 fights, trying to use all that he knows to rough up Butler here.
Butler has to try getting that jab working, try and double it up, put some combinations together.
Butler just allowing Pryce to spear him from range.
Yes, he's just standing off too much. Yeah, standing standing off too much, John. Needs to get in there a lot quicker than he is.
Well, there's the right hand from Pryce. Again, only a single shot. Maybe not the combinations that Gary Lockett would like. Butler trying to get inside. There's a good left hand from Pryce. Butler has to hold on.
Well, neither one doing a great deal in this round. Both just standing off. Maybe they're waiting for a big finish in the last.
Well, it's untidy, isn't it?
But it's hard to split them in this one.
Might all come down to the last round.
Little counter with the left there from Pryce. Yeah, I think they're saving it a little bit. Both starting to tie up. They know they're close to the end.
So, 7th round drawing towards its conclusion. Danny Butler against Bradley Pryce. There's Butler. Has he done enough? I wonder. European lightweight title fight coming up. Gavin Rees against Derry Matthews, and now Gavin Rees is with Ed Robinson.
Well, Gavin, how big a test is Derry Matthews for you this evening?
Yeah, he's a big test, you know. Obviously, European title on the line, so great, I think, to lose in this fight. He's obviously up for the fight. He got a big opportunity for himself. You know, I'm not going to push on for a world title fight. He knows he win this fight, and he'll be the one pushing on.
Have you made the weight okay this time round?
Yeah, definitely. I was pound and a half another check weigh-in, so a little swig of water went up to 8 and a half. So I comfortably got a great nutritionist and bang on form tonight, really.
What's going to happen tonight?
Oh, definitely, Gavin Rees win.
Good luck.
The big one coming up for Gavin Rees. Now just 1 round remaining for Danny Butler against Bradley Pryce. The 2 men touch gloves. Could be all down to this last round. Let's have a look how Glenn's scoring it at this stage. Well, there you are. Absolutely dead level, if the referee sees it the same way.
Yeah, very little in it. So either man got to try and get a big round just to put it in the bag.
Big last round could be key either way. Is either man going to be able to really find the punches? You heard the shout in the background for Danny Butler from his corner, I think it was. Go, Danny, go. He's trying to rough Pryce up. The referee shouldn't be allowing him to throw punches around the back of the head. Both corners telling their fighters it's all on the last round.
Pryce is just relying on that jab too much. He needs to start letting some of those big shots go.
Clipped by a cute little left hand from Pryce as Butler lunged in.
Well, he's threatening, he's walking forward, Pryce, but he needs to let the punches go.
He knows he can hurt him, doesn't he, in that second round? Remember then. Big right hand, that seems a long time ago.
Butler on the move a little bit, right uppercut from Pryce.
Coming down to the last minute, who's going to be able to throw the more authoritative shots in the closing stages? That's a good left hand from Butler, just as you sense that Pryce might have been in the ascendant.
Maybe slightly doing a little bit more, Butler, but he's got to keep it going right to the final bell.
Pryce's head going in there, and again.
There's never been a point when either one has really took over in this fight.
Butler coming back after a long time out of the ring. Something of a forgotten man, and Pryce trying to show that he's still got something left. As for much of the fight, that's a good uppercut from Pryce, a lovely shot. and that is just the punch he wanted, and that has probably decided the fight.
Yeah, that probably should have.
Just when he needed it, eh?
Yeah, pulled it out.
And he gets the verdict. Bradley Pryce has won it, and in that last round did it with style and got a real quality shot. He was looking for that one, needed that, and it was a quality shot that he delivered. See how much it means to him.
Well, what about that? There was just seconds to go, and he gets a knockdown. Great finish from Bradley Pryce. Pulled it out the bag. Not much in it till that very last round. But Pryce showed he's the boss.
Touched hands with Enzo Macronelli there at ringside. Now let's have another look at this one. Well, that was after the damage had been done, I think. That was a little cuffing left hand, but I think there's an uppercut. There's it. There it is.
The right uppercut. The left hand just lands really on the shoulder. But it was a good uppercut. There it is. And he's hurt there in a daze. Jumps straight up, but all too late.
Well, I think Gary Lockett will probably say, well, where on earth was that for the previous 8 rounds? Threw a terrific punch, and he liked it, he loved it, and that was absolutely decisive.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. After 8 rounds of boxing, referee Winford Jones has scored this contest. For Butler, 75 points. For Pryce, 77 points. A winner from Newbridge, Bradley Pryce.
Terrific reaction from the crowd, terrific action in the studio as well. Lovely way to end that fight, and a great way to build up to our main event, Johnny Nelson.
Well done to a 30-year-old Bradley Pryce. I thought he'd sort of get tired towards the back end of the fight, but that wisdom managed to hustle and bustle and totally outfox Butler at the end.
He's getting on a bit now, 30 years of age, 42 fights. Still got a bit in him though, hasn't he?
He has, but that was the fight clinch. I think that was a perfect hit him bang on the button. Great shot. I believe that was the fight clincher.